Amen. For just a little while, can I reason with you from this subject? My mother's decision. My mother's decision. My brothers and sisters, the record is that God appears to King Solomon in a dream. In 1 Kings chapter 3, verse number 5. And in this dream, God gives Solomon something that he doesn't give most people, because most people can't handle the stuff that they have right now. But God gives Solomon a blank check. And out of all the things that Solomon could have asked for, like a new car, a bigger house, a big bank account, some new lean, or some diamonds, or some gold, or even some pearls. None of these things did Solomon ask for. But instead, one thing that Solomon did ask God for. He said, God, give therefore thy servant an understanding heart, that I may judge your people. The Greek word for understanding is shama, which means to discern, distinguish, differentiate, or have wisdom. And I believe that he knew that he was going to need wisdom as a king to deal with God's people. After endorsing the blank check, God then cashed Solomon's check and granted him his request. Because again, he could have asked for riches or even long life. He could have asked for victory over his enemies. But because God seen his heart, God gave him those things as well and much more. Because we serve a God that will supply all of your needs. And sometimes he'll give you some of your wants. Y'all gonna help me? My brothers and sisters, we find one mother who was cruel, selfish, and even heartless. And it is said that during the night, she laid on her newborn child, and that child died. The record is that in the wee hours of the night, she took her dead child. And when she noticed that the child was not moving, she then replaced her child with her roommate's living child, hoping that she would notice the difference. That was a thoughtless and cruel, and it was a selfish thing to do. But the one thing that I have learned about a mother is you can't fool a mother about her children. Y'all ought to talk to me, moms. Mothers know when their child is lying. They know when their child is telling the truth. They may not ever address the issue, but a mother knows. In fact, my brothers and sisters, when some, my brothers and sisters, me or my brother would tell something or do something, my mama already knew who it was. 9 times out of 10, it was my brother. Mothers know when their children are bad and when they're being good. When they're trying to be sneaky and when they're trying to be sly. And no matter how bad the child is, a mother loves her child to the end. Because even though they know that their child may act up in school, they're still they baby. They know when the police has caught them stealing at the corner store. They go down and bail them out of jail. Yeah, they might be mad at the moment, but they're still her baby. Put a pin right there. Don't have Betty Embry as a mother and go to jail. Because she's going to say, leave you there. Y'all can remove that pin. I love you, Mom. Reason B is because after all of the labor pain, after all of the morning sickness, the swelling of the feet, the back pain, the chest pain, the food craving, the hurting through the night, and after all of the doctor's appointments of being poked and prodded, they remember them, my brothers and sisters, the bond that was formed while they were in the womb, and a mother knows her child. Look at what happened in the late hours of the night. The mother who laid on her child smothered her child. And she decided that she would switch babies. And she thought that the mother would not notice that the dead child is not hers. But when a mama woke up and when she examined the child, she immediately knew that that wasn't her baby. You can't fool a mother. It was something about the touch. It was something about the smell. It was something about the examination of the child that the mother recognized, identified, and distinguished that this is not my child. Mothers have a sixth sense. And I know what it is. It's a special gift from God. It's a gift that God himself placed down on the inside of a mother, which is called intuition. Somebody may ask, what is intuition? Intuition is the ability to acquire knowledge without recourse to conscious reasoning. Intuition is a direct access to unconscious knowledge, unconscious connection, inner sensing, inner sight, and unconscious